Hello. Alright, we got the mic going now. Karen. I think we'll try that 450 later. Be a little bit more warmed up.
Oops, I left it a little longer.
A little sick this morning.
No, it's like really super frozen.
Man, cut it for you.
I do. I need a strong man in my life. Kind of a fudge.
Okay, that's not weird.
These ain't silver though.
No, I didn't think
Are
so.
you
Yeah,
up to the
okay.
task, dear? I think you are. You are up to the task.
I think I'll do some 329, just join the mass world. Let me look at something real quick, actually. I might make the 450 without dehydration. I mean, I came super duper close, but I can take this off. Pathfinder on.
Jeff is taking the time booster test. Look at your shirt.
It's a worthy trade.
You need to take some water with
Last time
them.
my detergent didn't get it out.
He's gonna go with this. He's gonna
This
go
time,
with
he's
those
tied.
home.
It's boosted.
Or get home, I mean.
The other guy
But
can't.
then I'll need this.
Boosted clean. Looks like what guys.
You're gonna have to go.
Oh, my shirt.
You got until what time is the appointment?
It's cleaner, whiter, brighter, and fresher.
Well,
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be tied.
This time we gotta be quick. Oh, look, honey.
What?
The little berry.
I got extra. You want me to get a big snack?
Yeah.
Their double trouble, I forgot, isn't bad. They just have. I'm pretty good at running in particular angles, so you don't run back into your specials. And it just needs some help. So I'm still getting a fair amount of supplies. If you keep back, you can like. It's either you get hit with the Ranger Mage hit, then switch to Prey Melee, like if he's using those other styles, or it's Prey Melee, then switch into the style he attacked with, so that you can do keep back without actually having to keep back. I'm not feeling too good.
You ever give him the stuff like you have yet?
About a day or two.
I hear ya. Boy, you might get to bed.
Come on. Come on, wake you up. Come on.
Yeah, baby. Mama get boy. Come on, Dee Dee.
No, the Blood Furies. And 3,300 more hits. It only decreases with melee.
We ain't done yet. To it. So I'm gonna do it simple as that. All making these bands.
It's a defense. Should we allow video views? Yes.
But does he have a right non-identified? Yes. Yeah, 100%. He doesn't even have to identify himself to us.
You need to stay in your lane. You really can. We got it. Here we go. I will for it. In the winter of 1897, the Springfield Republican carried a small notice about the sudden passing of a woman named Margaret Dowell in Taney County, Missouri. She was described simply as a devoted mother of 2 daughters, survived by her husband, Elias. Nothing in that clipped obituary hinted at the shadow it would cast, nor at the generations of silence that would follow. Yet, according to county burial records preserved in Forsyth, Margaret's grave was marked only by a wooden cross, the inscription worn away within a few seasons, leaving the family isolated not only in grief, but in memory. This was the death that started it all. Before we dive into the story, click the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the darkest tales hidden in plain sight. And after you've subscribed, write in the comments where you are watching from and what time it is right now. Together, we are building a community of night watchers who face these chilling stories side by side, no matter the distance. Now, let's continue with the story. The Dowell homestead stood on a ridge far from town, a weather-beaten structure overlooking fields that had
always pay attention to your true tiles.
Neighbors noted that after Margaret's death,
You want to click the action as soon as you can without canceling it out.
The sisters, once seen walking to a one-room schoolhouse with their mother, vanished from the attendance rolls that same spring. Their names, Eliza and Clara.
These majors can hit it on the way through, that's fine.
Elias claimed he would teach them himself, but no evidence of lessons was ever found. The church, too, lost sight of the family. Records at the Taney County Historical Society show that the Dowells' pew went empty, their names absent from the baptismal and communion books after 1897. In a rural community where faith and farming bound families together, such withdrawal was not only unusual, but alarming. Some attributed it to grief, others to pride. But as one neighbor's diary later recorded, the Dowells closed their house and their hearts. None dared question.
Why am I running backwards?
The setting itself deepened the isolation. Winters in the Ozarks were harsh, the roads impassable after storms, leaving the Ridge House cut off for weeks. When Elias appeared in town to trade, he came alone. His daughter's faces hidden from sight.
What is it?
Whispered that their pale figures moved
What is it?
lamplight.
We don't know.
Without their mother's presence, the sisters seemed bound and tied
Hey, look
to the
at it.
will of their father. To understand the horror that would unfold, one must first see this silence not
Hold
as
on.
absence, but as the soil in which darker truths
Dude, the
take
big
root.
ball just sucks.
From the death of Margaret Dowell onward, the record shows a family that deliberately severed itself from the outside.
Where is it?
What those records do not immediately reveal, but what later investigators pieced together through fragments of affidavits, coroner's notes, and almshouse ledgers, is that Margaret's death was not the end of the Dowell story. It was, in fact, the beginning of one of the most disturbing family histories in the Ozarks. A history that produced what officials would later call the most
I don't know.
purebred children
Doesn't
ever
feel. I
seen
don't
in
know.
this county.
We got a weird
According
feeling
the
to
United
it.
States Census of 1900, Elias Dowell was listed as a widower, aged 45, head of household, with 2 daughters under his roof. No occupation is given beyond farmer, though by then his land had grown thin and unyielding. The bare notation in the census form reveals little, but when read alongside the recollections of neighbors and the parish minutes of Forsyth Baptist Church, a picture of a man begins to emerge, stern,
Mm-hmm.
and jealous of his authority. Elias was remembered by
Could have
townsmen
been
as a
bad.
figure who spoke little, his presence marked by the heavy silence that followed him into stores and taverns. A diary kept by John Wainwright, a local
How do we have 2 deaths?
records
That's
that
referred to
Elias did not suffer inquiry into his affairs. When asked after his daughters, he answered only that they were well enough.
Black
Quickly
wolf
turned
versus
the
white
subject.
wolf.
On
Not,
Sundays,
not
where
in a
once
bad
Margaret
way.
had led the girls by hand into the church pew, Elias appeared alone, muttering that grief was a private thing. It was in this atmosphere that whispers began to take root. Farmers traveling the
Sammy?
Ridge Road claimed they heard voices in the night,
You can go to
not
the
joyous or
bathroom.
sorrowful, but
You gotta make it
strange,
super quick.
urgent,
You got doctors going
and
to
sometimes
the door.
muffled by
You're
weeping.
probably gonna test
A
you
sheriff's
there,
deputy,
so.
Yeah.
years later,
Go back.
wrote that rumors
Okay.
of unnatural
Sammy,
domestic practices
I said you can go to the
circulated as
bathroom. I
early as the
said,
summer of
but you gotta take
1901.
some water with you
Though
to
no
drink
complaint was
because
ever
you're probably
officially
gonna get
recorded.
tested.
In rural Missouri,
You got doctor's
where
appointment.
family honor was guarded with fierce silence, the line between
4 o'clock, so go to the bathroom.
Go,
So go.
go take your
15
shit.
minutes.
Yeah.
daughters that were seen only rarely, and when they appeared,
I hope
their
you're
eyes
taking
were
your
cast
medicine.
downward, their movements awkward, as if unaccustomed to the sun. A school teacher from a neighboring district, writing decades later in a memoir, recalled seeing 2 pale girls on the ridge path, walking as though in lockstep, their faces alike as mirror images.
Yeah, the phone.
He noted the oddity that no man courted them, nor did Elias seek suitors for them, despite their passing into womanhood. The isolation deepened after the turn of the century. Elias's farm failed, yet he refused offers of assistance. When creditors pressed him, he bartered with livestock, never coin. The daughters remained hidden, their presence confirmed only by faint candlelight
Oh, I don't have the
behind
book of
shuttered
the dead.
windows. To outsiders, it seemed as though the Dowell household had turned inward completely, cut off from the flow of town life, bound only.
I'm one of the last ones. I think I was
Later
7th or 8th.
investigators, examining scattered documents from this period, would conclude that it was in these years, the long stretch
Chill
between
little
Margaret's
150
burial
after
and the first
450.
recorded suspicions of
Stressful
pregnancy,
solo.
that the foundation
If I get
of the
Warden's down, I
tragedy
think
was
I'll be
laid.
alright. I just lack
For the community,
DPS.
it was merely an odd family drawing into grief and pride. For the sisters, as later records would imply, it was the beginning of something darker. A life confined to their father's will, where silence became the rule, and where children would soon be born, bearing the unmistakable
Lovely, I'm
mark of
probably
blood
getting like 20
that should never
FPS,
have
not
mixed.
even.
By the spring of 1902, the names of Eliza and Clara Dowell had disappeared from every public ledger in Taney County.
I'm just
The
doing it
schoolhouse
kind of
register lists
half-assed.
their attendance up to the year of their mother's death, then abruptly stops. Parish books likewise record no confirmations, no marriages, no communions. In a community where even the poorest families left some trace of their children's passage into adulthood, the silence around the Dowell sisters was glaring. The first outsider to remark on their absence was Reverend Amos Carter, who noted in his quarterly report to the Baptist Association that Brother Dowell has not permitted his daughters to partake in
Peel off
services
these
for some
suckers.
years, a matter of increasing concern. His note was filed among
Nice.
routine correspondence, forgotten until unearthed decades later in denominational archives. At the time, it raised no alarm. Rural Missouri was a place where grief often justified eccentricity, and neighbors seldom pressed into private sorrow. Yet the community began to notice irregularities. In the autumn of 1903, a midwife named Sarah Fields recorded in her ledger a nighttime summons to the Dowell homestead. She later testified that she was dismissed at the door by Elias himself, who told her the matter was already tended to.
That white thing.
Still,
for the bag.
in her neat script, she penciled a short line. Child delivered. Weak. Not seen again. When interviewed in her old age, she recalled only a thin cross or soon silenced, and the sight of two pale girls hovering at the window as she departed. More fragments followed. In the winter of 1905, County Coroner John Hensley investigated the shallow burial of an infant discovered by hunters near the ridge. His report, preserved in courthouse files, describes a child of defective formation, bones frail, features irregular. Though no charges
Oh,
were
okay.
brought, the report
Yeah, I can
was
kind of like
politely filed under
explain what we're
unknown
doing then.
parentage, though
It's always fun,
whispered
dude.
truth. The
Your
sisters
puzzles,
themselves
set
seemed
it
to
up
fade
for
into
you,
shadows.
put them down, rotate.
Those few who glimpsed them
Made hockey easier, so whatever he's praying, you pray.
grew uncanny.
Then just use your strongest style that he's not praying against now. Super easy.
They spoke to no one.
1, 2 mirror, 1 more
Measured
mirror.
time by weddings, dots.
The little trick is you stand like a square away of where you'd mine it,
Dowell daughters
and then
marked
click when
no
that hits
such
green.
milestones.
You kind of start a little
Their
early.
lives were lived
And sometimes
behind
it can make a
shuttered
make or break for a
When they
1 down,
emerged
it
at
all
all,
depends.
It was only as
Especially in a group, it all depends on the average mining level,
the school
like
rolls
X.
that ended too soon. The parish books gone
See,
silent.
I would have had that
The
1 down
midwife's
easy.
penciled note, the coroner's careful phrasing, that later historians pieced together the earliest signs of what the Dowells concealed. The sisters, withdrawn from society, were not merely absent. They were hidden for a reason, and the evidence left in their wake pointed toward children born of blood too close.
Oh my god.
Children whose brief lives bore witness to the inbreeding that had already begun within those shuttered walls.
And just question mark, random
Summer of
spots like that. Just to
1906,
bug with.
The Dowell household had
people.
become a source of
Damn it.
One thing I hate is when you finish rooms and it restarts music.
Hey y'all, today we're making 8 homemade candy bars.
Sold up.
So this is a
Basically an
compilation video.
overload,
Some
but
of
the
these
cool
may
thing
be
is when
older, but
salts
I'm
run
working on
out,
big meal
your
prep
stats
videos. No
continue to
one
stay
videos will
boosted, so if
attach
you
to
ever
it.
are lacking in salts, then just try to not brew
Alright,
once it
y'all,
runs
a lot
out.
of y'all asked for this when I made my
So you
last
like heal
candy bar
up right
video.
before
These
like
two
the timer would
actually, a
run
lot
out,
of
but
y'all
you'll still
asked
stay
for. Y'all
boosted.
did
Nice
ask for
little
others
tip.
too, and they are
So you
on
can
my
take
list
advantage of
when we
doing
get to the other
less
ones. I
supply
promise. But give me a
invos,
little time.
make the raid level higher.
I am so excited. I got
Oh my goodness, guys, I am so excited about this. I have seen this so much on
Mage
TikTok
gear
and
still. I just
YouTube.
did that because I was black. When you're black, you don't move because you'll leave black orbs before you leave. So if you're DD'd up on someone, and some of them, they can go ahead of you too. Of 5.
Guys have not seen this before. This is the Century knitting machine. For those of you watching the right now.
Sometimes you can skip through those. Just time it right.
Everyone, police department.
Jesus Christ.
He has no idea who Ariel is, and no one.
Oh, she's breathing. She's still breathing.
Oh, way better. Yeah, 125 all down the board.
The tide. A rhythm. A daily return. An ode to the sea's power, infused with marine actives to
Drive that timing down.
and what's beneath the surface. Elemis Pro Collagen Marine Cream SPF 30. One proven step to hydrate, firm, and protect.
When you're white, you shoot lightning out, up, down, left, right. But if you're feeling specials on, then they can go diagonal too. But it's random between up, down, left, right, or the diagonals of your character. And the feeling special also makes those memories quicker.
The top, weighing just 16 pounds, was discovered severely malnourished and barely clinging to life.
Cure spec that takes 50 prayer but restores my health to 118. And it also, if I was venomed, it heal that. It restores your run, so if you're running around a lot, like in Kefri mainly. So I wasn't vertical, so they burned each other, but I was safe. Oh yeah, I don't have my Book of the Dead for those. Here you just dodge the white orbs.
What is your daughter's name?
And then he'll teleport to one of the random 4 locations. You have to melee him, so you can't just find a nice safe little spot, like major range, and you have to dodge these. Or if you're like 90 something health.
She's been talking to a lot of people online. Can I get a picture of this snapshot? Okay, just give it back to you for now. You got a number I can see it here. Just a screenshot.
And here's the Baba puzzle room. So then you just... Well, this is enough for my Bofa hit 40 without my prayers, which is how much health shamans are. There's just a bunch of different monkeys you attack. Do the correct style, you'll hit your max hit. That guy with the red over him, he's the caller, so he'll see something's wrong with the room and he has to tell us what it is. These green potions will neutralize either the vents or people. It's a DD, so he's calling DD. So I'm going to go middle here. We're curing everybody. This guy doesn't get it, so I'm going to run to him. Oh, didn't get there in time. You need to be attacking. Yep. So these ones blow up volatiles. That's a mage one. You want to range it. Then the ones that walk around with cursed, those just lay poison down, venom. You range most of them, and then it's like you mage the malayers, malay the rangers. Vents. Neutralize that. Oh, someone missed one event. Then these thralls are what's summoned from the shamans, and you can use any style. It doesn't matter. Rune.
Because we lost our first daughter because she had neglect issues, and I was better off to keep this one.
And I don't even need my avas.
You lost your first daughter, like she.
I just use it for use like 2 range strengths.
quick prayers, I usually keep those. I'm still salted, go in, Warhammer spec. Do another one because I hit a 0 on a 150. Alright. Take it across. It'd be just a little better, I think, in here. Unless you had like the Elder Dragon Warhammer or whatever, the Elder Warhammer. Fill these boons because I'll open the sarcophaguses. Hit run.
Would you hear me? I know she said that her phone's going on airplane mode, but can you text her back and say, hey, I'm talking to the police, like, you need to come back here or something to that effect? Thank you.
Okay, I'll be right back. After speaking with his father, one officer stepped inside. From the very first moment, he could see for
Gap's off, so I can just like chill wherever I want. If there's a gap, you don't want to be in the middle because of those, so you can mark the tiles like this. These would be like the safe tiles, like 2 squares in. Like the first 2 burgundy colored squares here are safe. The third one and in are not. I messed up there. Also, Bob always targets the guy with the lowest health. He always prioritizes that. So it's good when certain people want to be the tank and they'll stay low HP and do certain mechanics like walking under or what have you to tank it. Since it's a 150, yeah, that thing hits low. That was like a 300 plus, that'd be like 70 damage or higher. The higher the level, the harder it hits. The Blood Fury helps, Kefri, Akka, Baba. It just doesn't work on the Wardens.
Oh shit, she's breathing. She's still breathing. Let's go, let's go.
Then with these, I take 1 of each out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that's the 7th because that's because you can use hard food in this raid. Typically, you'd go on a diet, but this heals health over time, and these recharge prayer over time. Ambrosia restores everything, like over basically. They're like emergency potions, and your brew restore adrenaline. Half's your, I use half your special. Do that.
Hey, can you and one of your guys respond down here? We found this kid barely alive. Medics are rushing the kid to the hospital. Yeah, we're finishing up trying to clear this place, but you're definitely going to want to be down here. Alright, thanks, bye.
It's no lighter, look. Lighter.
Yeah, be just better here.
Let's make some fudge.
It's more
This
often.
fudge recipe has been in my family for a really long time, and we've been keeping it a secret.
Heli. I believe I have Helis.
Let's make some fudge. This fudge recipe has been in my family for a really long time, and we've been keeping it a secret.
Make sure you take
But I
water
have
with
to
them.
share. This recipe originally came from my great
Mr. Heli, we're doing chambers. I want to do some chambers today because I've done like a lot of this. Not too much chambers.
Make it very good Christmas season because it's really not very good for you. But that's the point of a good Christmas treat, right? It's supposed to be indulgent. This is what we call butter fudge. In case the name didn't already give it away for you, there's a lot of butter in this recipe. But it's
There's a lot of money in me.
For this recipe, it is important.
BDS ready. Adrenaline's pop already.
So, when you get to making the fudge, you have to watch it. and stay right by the whole time. You can't be running around to find ingredients.
You turn entity hider on too. You'd walk through those too. Just skip it. As long as you're going straight diagonal, not at a weird L angle. Love you, Robbie. You get 5 specs off here. And then wet.
Normally I use my
Then range.
Dutch oven for this fudge recipe.
Well, I have my these colorized, so much easier to reorganize like that. Oh yeah, entity hider. Do it right now.
Always go a little bigger than you think you would need. Before you turn on the heat, put all of your ingredients into the pot.
Yeah, hit everybody.
Like the recipe name suggests, you need butter for this recipe. 8 ounces of butter, which is half a pound. This is Kerrygold butter. It's a really good grass-fed butter. It's so yummy. I really like it.
Oh, I ran out of...
I've also used Kirkland
Alright, it's alright, I'll save it. Smarter. Save it.
This butter in the past. You just want to make sure you're using actual butter, not a fake margarine.
3 down, more points.
Because this is the main component of the recipe. So, 8 ounces, half a pound butter.
All my weapons, DS. The BGS definitely better. They're still there, by the way. I just hit them. I can see the map.
Every little bit counts, and you don't want to throw out the portions of the recipe. Now, we're just going to be patient for a second, and let this drip all the way out. I also let all the evaporated
yeah, it's like, what do I click on?
Too. I just didn't film that entire process.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. It's so convenient to have that.
It's kind of mesmerizing to watch.
Before we dive into the story, remember that what you're about to hear is based on true events, reconstructed from journals, police records, and first-hand testimony. Some names have been changed for privacy. Click the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss stories like this again. Now let's continue with the story. The fog came thick that October.
Welcome to this journey through one of the most disturbing cases recorded in the history of Kansas. Before we begin, I invite you to leave in the comments where you're watching from and the exact time you're listening to this narration. We're interested in knowing which places and what times of day or night these documented accounts reach. The town of Elwood, Kansas sits quietly along the Missouri River, directly across from St. Joseph.
November the 4th, 1970. A girl who would later be known as Jeannie Wiley and her mother walked into the social services offices of Temple City, California. Immediately, one of the social workers noticed that something was wrong. Jeannie appeared to be a severely autistic girl of around 6 or 7 years old. She walked with an extremely odd gait. She drooled and spat constantly. She wore a diaper, and she seemed to be entirely incapable of making a sound. The only thing is...
In today's video, we executed yet again another epic loyalty test. Tia feels like her boyfriend is lying to her about going to court.
You just told me you was leaving court.
The reason she feels this way is because he will come home at 2 in the morning, so we set up a plan to track him. See exactly what he's doing. If you're new to my channel, brace yourselves, because the content that you are going to see in this video might shock you. So without further ado, let's catch us a soulless...
A pregnant
Why did that take so long?
of her own divorce hearing.
I should have just went and
The
did
air
it,
is
my
sucked
god.
out of the oak panel courtroom. But her husband, the man she built a life with, doesn't move a muscle. His beautiful younger mistress simply smirks from the gallery, a picture of smug victory.
Smug victory.
They think they've broken
What a cunt.
and are moments away from taking everything. But they have no idea about the single sealed envelope the judge is holding. A DNA test that won't just reveal the father of the baby, but will unravel a lie that has built.
Why am I not fucking hitting it?
He's been sitting there for hours, calm, detached, and denying everything.
I haven't done anything.
A 5-year-old girl is missing.
Sad.
Hey, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel, my friend. In this video, we are doing outdoor Halloween DIYs, and we're getting started right now. And for this first idea, all you gotta do is just pick up 2 broomsticks along with a pool noodle, and the color doesn't matter. Then you need to grab 2 large planters. I'm using 2 I already have on hand. And then cut down 2 pieces of the pool noodle to be about the same height as your planters. Hot glue your pool noodle to the bottom of your planter. Add something weighted like rock or potting soil, and that is it. Then
Zorro.com knows that every job is important. And for more than 10 years, Zorro.com.
I forgot to work in
Hey,
here.
it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel, my friend. In this video, we are doing outdoor.
Oh, I've done this on mobile. It's not hard.
These Dollar Tree pool noodles, it's like
What did I
made to wrap
expect?
perfectly around these broomsticks. Just stab them into
I
your.
don't know. I even did a 150. Oh yeah, 'cause I'm tired
Then you'll
now.
want to
But
snap up one of
MVP.
Dollar Tree's hula hoops. I'm using the larger size, so the 28-inch or 30-inch if you're purchasing from Dollar Tree. And just remove the
At
little
least
plastic
getting you
strips
eat.
all the way around the hula hoop. Pop that bad boy open and slide it
All
right
right.
into the broomsticks.
Yeah, I'll
You'll
take
secure
that.
your hula hoop just using some duct tape and add some lights. And bada bing, bada boom, that is it, my friend. We have a gorgeous,
Oh, someone must have
beautiful
went
Halloween art
swimming.
that would look great behind any of your DIY decorations or decorations. This technique would really work for just about any season. And I really wish how beautiful and gorgeous this was showed up on the video and camera. It looks so much better in real life. But if you want to take this art up to the next level, all you have to do is pick up 1 pack of
This
Dollar
man's
Tree plastic
much
bats. They come
classier.
in 15 count. They aren't window stickers. That's what I thought they
I'm
were
so
when I originally
fucking.
saw
I'm
them. They're
tired.
plastic cutout bats, safe for outdoors.
I'm
And
gonna
a pack
pop or
of their
something.
spider webbing.
Drink some
All you have to do is
coffee.
just spread the spider webbing all over the art. This is it's foolproof, not no fool. It's foolproof. You can't really mess it up. The spider webbing is just kind of messy to work with. Then hot glue your bats to the spider webbing. I'm really happy with the way this turned out, y'all. This is my first time using that spider webbing, and as I was messing with it, I thought I was making a mess, but I realized it's just a mess. I love the way this turned out.
Yeah.
It's cozy.
I'll do some chambers actually. That's what I wanted to do earlier. Then everyone wanted to do TOA. It's like, but I always do TOA. So.
In the shadowed halls of medieval Norman. In the shadowed halls of medieval Norman courts, a legal doctrine took root that would strangle the lives of women for 8 centuries. Coverture, the word itself means covering, emerged from feudal custom as a system of legal obliteration so complete that it rendered married women invisible in the eyes of the law. By marriage, according to Sir William Blackstone's commentaries on the law
Yeah,
of
he's a
England,
torture instead of blood feud. It's not real.
that is, the very being or legal existence.
But I will get a
of the woman is
saying, I
suspended
think.
during her marriage, or at least is
Let me do
incorporated
something
or
real quick for
consolidated
you.
into that of her husband, under whose wing,
I
protection,
need to give that
and
back.
cover, she performs everything. This was not metaphor. This was the binding legal reality that governed every aspect of a Victorian woman's existence from the moment she spoke her marriage vows. In effect, a woman surrendered her legal existence on marriage. She ceased to exist as a person capable of owning property, entering contracts, or even controlling her own body. Prior to marriage, a woman could freely execute a will, enter into
You
contracts,
watch like
sue,
Cox
or be
Chunk,
sued in their
and
own name,
I'm like
and sell,
super
or give
motivated
away
for
her real
Chambers.
estate.
Like I am willing to
When
grind it
19-year-old
out for a
Caroline
Tebow.
Norton married George Norton in
Screen logging
1827,
it, because look
she
at this,
ceased to
dude.
exist as a person under British law. Her property, her earnings, her children,
Like,
even her physical body
yeah.
belonged entirely to
The
her
only
husband.
thing I'm
She
missing,
could not sign contracts,
remnants,
could
like
not sue or be
500
sued,
COA,
could not
kill
own property,
count.
and had no
These are
legal
450.
recourse
All
if
it
her
goes
husband
on,
chose
which
to
are
beat
just
her,
like little
rape
challenge
her,
things
or
that I
lock
can
her
get
away.
done.
The Norton
I
marriage
got
would
pretty
become
much
a
all the
notorious
drops
example
here.
of covetous horrors.
Not
George
much.
Norton, a barrister and member of Parliament,
Never touched Tob, but I played Tob on other versions of the game when I used to play those.
He seized their 3 young sons.
But anyway, yeah, I was gonna sell this. I don't need. I literally use that Staff of the Dead for Doom, just specifically for magic attacks. There's no reason for it,
and my children
honestly.
are my prison wardens. She would not see her youngest son for 2 years.
How much it is?
Women's property disappeared into their husbands' hands the moment they married.
I might
When
just
wealthy
keep that
heiress
like
Frances
that. It's
Power
nice
Cobb
that my
inherited
placeholder's not an
£1,000 from her
invisible
father
thing.
in 1857, her husband immediately claimed it as his own. I might as well have thrown the money into the sea, she later wrote. My husband took possession of it as absolutely as if I had never existed. When Elizabeth Parsons' husband committed her to a private asylum in 1858 to steal her inheritance, she had no legal recourse. Under coverture, a husband could confine his wife anywhere he chose. This legal extinction extended to every aspect of a woman's life. She could not make a will without her husband's permission. She could not refuse medical treatment he authorized. She could not prevent him from reading her correspondence or following her movements. As one contemporary observer noted, a married woman in England has no legal existence. She is her husband's chattel, no different from his horse or his dog. The domestic hell. Behind the respectable facades of Victorian homes, wife-beating was not only legal, but actively encouraged by religious and medical authorities as a husband's divine right and duty. The popular legal maxim held that a man could beat his wife with a stick no thicker than his thumb, though this restraint was rarely observed or enforced. Dr. William Acton, whose medical textbook, The Functions and Disorders of the Reproductive Organs, was the standard authority on Victorian sexuality, wrote in 1857, "The husband has the right to enforce sexual intercourse, as this is the wife's duty and his natural right." What we now recognize as marital rape was not
I'll
only
get to
legal,
thinking about
but considered
something.
a husband's
It
sacred
turned into
prerogative.
daydream, and I just
The
like,
Diaries
nah,
of Lady
no.
Colin Campbell, published after her scandalous divorce trial in 1886, revealed the sexual horrors many wives endured. The husband, Lord Colin Campbell, infected her with syphilis through his affairs, then continued to force sexual intercourse upon her despite her illness. He would not be denied his rights, she wrote, though it meant my death. When she begged him to use preventative measures to avoid further infection, he responded that such devices were an insult to his manhood. Violence was systematic and brutal. The medical records examined by Frances Power Cobb in 1878 revealed the true extent of domestic brutality. Women arrived with broken bones, knife wounds, burns from hot pokers, and injuries from kicks to the abdomen while pregnant. Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell documented cases of women whose husbands had bitten off their ears, broken their jaws, and deliberately blinded them. The case of Hannah Mullins, recorded in Manchester court records from 1869, illustrates the extremes of marital violence. Her husband John had beaten her so severely that she required hospitalization for 3 broken ribs, a fractured skull, and internal bleeding. When she pressed charges, the magistrate sentenced John to 14 days in prison, but also ordered Hannah to submit more willingly to her husband's authority upon his release. The court blamed her shrewish behavior for provoking the attack. Working class women faced even greater brutality. Factory owner testimonies from parliamentary inquiries in the 1840s revealed that married female workers were expected to turn over their entire wages to their husbands, who often spent the money on alcohol before returning home to beat their wives for failing to provide adequate meals. In the coal mining districts of
Sounds
Wales,
about
women's
right.
rights activist Emmeline Pankhurst documented cases of miners who would strip their wives naked and beat them with leather belts as punishment for perceived domestic failures. Sexual violence within marriage was so normalized that medical texts instructed wives to submit to any sexual act their husbands demanded. Dr. George Nafe's The Physical Life of Woman, published in 1869, advised wives that, however repugnant the husband's demands may seem, the wife must never refuse, as this constitutes a violation of the marriage contract. The trap of motherhood. Pregnancy and childbirth in Victorian marriage were not joyous occasions, but instruments of control and sources of mortal terror. With no access to reliable contraception and no legal right to refuse sexual intercourse, married women faced the constant threat of pregnancy. Each pregnancy brought a significant chance of death. Maternal mortality rates in the 1850s ranged from 1 in 200 births in wealthy households to 1 in 30 in working-class neighborhoods. But surviving childbirth only intensified a woman's legal vulnerabilities. Under coverture, children belonged absolutely to their fathers. A woman had no legal relationship to her own offspring. If she attempted to leave an abusive marriage, her husband could forbid her from seeing her children ever again. If she died, her husband could give the children away without consulting her family. If he chose to beat or abuse the children, she had no legal power to intervene. For poor women, the situation was even more desperate. Parliamentary investigations in the 1860s documented cases of fathers selling their children into industrial labor or sexual slavery, with mothers powerless to intervene. In the textile districts of Manchester, factory inspectors found children as young as 5 working 14-hour days in dangerous conditions because their fathers had contracted their labor for drinking money. The constant threat of pregnancy meant that a woman's body was never her own. Elizabeth Wolstenholme, writing in 1869, described the reality. A married woman exists in a state of perpetual violation. She cannot control when or how often she becomes pregnant, cannot limit the size of her family, and cannot protect her health.
Hello, friends. Do you see the red rose in my hand is beautiful? Today I will show you a little tip to help roses take root and germinate.
Hello everybody, hope you're having a great day. Well, it's that time of year where we have lots of family and friends over, and so I want to make some corn pop crack. So we want to start with 2 large boxes of corn pops. You can get these at the grocery store. Of course, you can make half of that if you want to, but these are so addictive, it's so delicious. Let me show you how easy it is to make this. Put it in a big...
With Liberty Mutual, customize your car insurance to save.
Big pan like that, and then we're going to have a saucepan, and in the saucepan we're going to put some dark Karo syrup, 1/2 cup or 150 grams of dark Karo corn syrup, just like that. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay. Next, some butter, 1 cup or 227 grams of salted butter. I always use salted butter. I don't always mention that. And we'll just kind of cut that up and put it in the saucepan. Now some heat, a medium-low heat. Want to get this melted. And then 2 cups or 440 grams of brown sugar. And we want to give it one quick stir, and then we're going to leave it alone. And it's really weird that you do that, but that's what you need to do. So one stir, and then let it come to a gentle boil without stirring it. And when it's boiling like this, you want to let it boil for 3 minutes. I set a timer, and don't stir it. You see that? That's what it'll look like. Then you can turn the heat off, and then add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now we can stir. And 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. And you want to just stir it until the color changes. And, well, you'll see what I mean. And just keep it moving. Can you tell it's starting to change color? It's starting to change, kind of transform just the way it looks. You see it's getting lighter. That's what you're looking for. Give it a good stir. Keep it moving around. And now you want to quickly pour it over the corn pop cereal. And this is going to put a wonderful crunchy coating on this cereal. It makes it a great snack. It's very addictive. Now I've preheated the oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to do that. And so then quickly fold it over, stir it, turn it. You want to try and coat the cereal as best that you can, just like this. All right. Now into the oven. We're going to bake it at 250 Fahrenheit for 1 hour, but we're going to stir it every 15 minutes. So set a timer, and every 15 minutes.
Looks good, huh?
And you just turn it over and break it up very gently. You don't want to try to break the cereal, but you want to loosen it and then put it back in. And you do that over 1 hour period. Okay? And give it another stir when you first bring it out for the very last time. And you can tell they're not stuck together as much as they were. You see that? And so you take it out after an hour and you give it another stir and let it cool. And as it cools, it will become crunchy. That's how you make it. It's just that easy, and it's so delicious. Hey, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Yeah. It looked really good.
In the gaslit corridors of the Victorian era, spanning 1837 to 1901, a distinct tension filled the air, a tension woven from stringent social norms, moral rectitude, and the stifling corsets of societal expectations. Welcome to the complex theatre of Victorian courtship and flirtation.
Victorian courtship.
Chaperones lurked like ever-watchful sentinels, and the exchange of a mere glance was fraught with layers of meaning. Picture yourself in the parlour of a grand London townhouse, perhaps one similar to that of Charles Dickens, chronicler of Victoria.
A $60 value for only $26.99. Give the gift of Millie Moon with our luxury diaper gift box. Inside.
Oh yeah, a lot of extra runes for my portal. Cool. Momo.
Depot works 24/7.
Imagine you're 14, not a woman, not a child, just old enough to bleed, and that's all they care about. You live in a quiet village. Imagine you're 14, not a woman, not a child, just old enough to bleed, and that's all they care about. You live in a quiet village just outside Nanjing. Your father is a low-ranking official, obedient, forgettable, and that's why you were chosen. It happens without warning. 3 soldiers in dark robes arrive before dawn. No explanation, no ceremony, just a scroll stamped with red wax and a name, yours. Your mother collapses, your father bows, and you? You're told to wash and dress. They scrub you until your skin burns. Your hair is pulled tight and oiled into a style you've never worn. They give you silk slippers you can't walk in, and a stiff red robe you can't breathe under. The woman who escorts you won't meet your eyes, but she whispers something as she helps you into the carriage. Don't cry. The palace hates stains. You're being taken to Beijing, to the Emperor's court, the heart of Imperial China, where thousands of girls before you were sent, and most were never heard from again. The journey takes days. No one speaks to you. You're not allowed to ask questions. At night, you sleep on lacquered wood beneath silk you didn't earn. You dream of your mother's hands, and wake to the sound of drums in the distance. When you arrive, it doesn't feel real. The Forbidden City is so massive it swallows the sky. Golden roofs shimmer like fire. Blood-red walls rise around you like prison bars, every doorway guarded, every whisper measured. You're no longer a daughter, no longer a person. You're now property of the Emperor. They take you through the gate of heavenly purity. The floor is white jade, so clean it reflects your shaking hands. Other girls are already there, silent, terrified, dressed like dolls for a show they never agreed to. You try to speak, to ask why you're here, what's happening, what they want from you. But a eunuch raises his hand. You shut your mouth. They separate you from your group and lead you down a corridor that gets narrower with every step. No windows, just walls carved with dragons. You pass rooms where you hear sobbing, water splashing, fabric tearing, then you're stopped. An old woman in a black robe steps out from a side chamber. Her face is wrinkled, unreadable. She looks at you the way butchers look at pigs. Her voice is dry. She'll do. You're taken into a small candlelit room. The doors close behind you. And for the first time, you realize this isn't the beginning of your life. This is the beginning of a test, one that will decide whether you sleep on silk or not at all. Because here in the Forbidden City, inside the dragon's jaws, a girl's worth isn't measured by kindness. It's measured by whether or not she's been touched. Chapter 2. The Preparation. You're told to undress, not asked. Told. The old woman gestures once, and the eunuch behind her steps forward. His face is blank. His hands are gloved. You hesitate, and he doesn't hesitate back. Your robe is pulled open. Your hair is ripped from its knot. You want to scream, but everyone in the room is already pretending you're not a person. You're not alone in this chamber. There are 4 other girls, all silent, all avoiding eye contact. No one's crying, not because they aren't scared, but because they're too scared. They bathe you, not in warm water, in freezing buckets, scrubbed by older women with hands like sandpaper. They wash your scalp, your armpits, between your thighs. You flinch and get slapped for it. Stay still, one snaps. The Emperor doesn't like filth. They cut your nails to the skin. Pick lice from your hair. Smear crushed pearl across your face to lighten it. Rub oils into your arms until your skin shines unnaturally. Not one person tells you why. Not one person tells you what comes next. You're taken to a long corridor filled with identical silk robes. Pale blue, stiff, and cold. You're not allowed to choose. They hand you one. You put it on. It doesn't fit. Around your waist, a red sash. That colour used to mean celebration back home. Here, it's a signal. Untested. They tie it tight. Too tight. So it doesn't fall during what comes next. You're then led past a row of bronze mirrors. You don't recognise the girl reflected back at you. Your face looks older, paler. Not like you've lived, but like you've already disappeared. You hear a bell. Not loud, but sharp. Somewhere down the corridor, a door opens. One of the girls is called. She walks forward. The rest of you wait. You're told to kneel and not to speak, not to look up, not even when the screams start. They call this preparation.
But what they're really doing is erasing you. Erasing your name, your voice, your home. All that's left is your body. And the question everyone here cares about is it untouched? Because in the Forbidden City, a girl who isn't a virgin is a mistake. And no emperor wants a mistake in his bed. Chapter 3. The Virginity Test. The silence is unbearable. You've been kneeling for what feels like hours. The cold of the stone has seeped into your bones. Your knees are numb. The girls beside you have been called in one by one. Some come out, some don't. You try not to count how many are missing, but you notice. Everyone does. You haven't eaten. You haven't spoken. The red sash around your waist marks you as untested. Like meat waiting for inspection. Like cattle. You want to ask what's behind the door, but deep down you already know. The bell rings. Your breath catches in your throat. A shadow crosses the threshold. The eunuch reads your name. You stand, slowly, clumsily, like you've forgotten how your legs work. He says nothing else, just turns and walks. You follow him, because you have no other choice. The corridor is tight, the walls lined with red silk and flickering lanterns. Each step feels like a funeral march. You pass another eunuch on the way, carrying a tray with blood-stained cloth folded neatly on top. He doesn't flinch, doesn't look at you, just keeps walking. The door you stop at is tall, heavy, lacquered black. When it opens, the first thing that hits you is the smell. Not blood, not perfume, something else, something wrong. It smells like old wood, incense, and fear. Inside, the room is dimly lit by candles in iron holders. The air is still, dead still. There's a mat on the floor, a wooden table, and behind it, an old woman with hands like rope. Beside her, a eunuch holding a scroll and a brush. They don't greet you. They don't even look up. Lie down. The voice is flat, dry, like she said it 1,000 times and never cared what came next. You hesitate. You want to ask why. You want to say no, but you lie down. Because you were raised to obey. And because you know. This isn't really a test. It's a verdict. The mat scratches your back through the thin silk robe.
Wow.
The old woman kneels beside you, her knees cracking as she moves. She lifts the hem of your robe without asking. It feels like the air leaves your body. Keep still. No apology. No shame. She begins the inspection. You stare at the ceiling. It's cracked and smoke-stained. You count imperfections to stay sane. You imagine you're anywhere else, outside the palace, in a field, by a river. But it doesn't work. You're here, and you're being touched. She mumbles under her breath. You hear words you barely understand. No signs of trauma. Hymenal ridge intact. Minimal resistance. The eunuch scribbles everything down. You wonder how many bodies they've written about like this. How many girls were minimal resistance. You try not to cry. Because if you cry, they might think you're dramatic, disobedient.
All right, y'all. Let's open up our cinnamon rolls. This is the best.
Hey, I hear somebody.
All right, y'all. Let's open up our cinnamon rolls. This is the best cinnamon roll hack ever, okay? I'm going to show you how to make these canned, cheap cinnamon rolls like the kind you get at the bakeries, okay? So let me just open these up here. I'm going to open both of these up. This is so good. My family comes over, they think I bought these from a fancy bakery. Little do they know, I just buy the cheap ones at the store and I doctor them up. That's all you got to do. All right, so we're just gonna plop all these in here right now. I'm gonna arrange them how they should be. And you know what? We gotta save this icing. This is real important. Oh, there it is. It's in a little bag. Oh, that's cute. Look at that little bag. All right. What we gonna do here is just layer these cinnamon rolls out like so. All right. So I have 2 cans here. Let me see, they kind of come apart a little bit, but that's totally fine. Just gonna put these all around like so. Oh, that little one wants to unroll. Oh, we just roll it right back together. We ain't gonna waste any of these. All right, so we're gonna take the rest of these too. And I think for this recipe, for my pan I have, we only need 1.5 teaspoons. But you know what, we don't use it all. I'm gonna show you how we don't use it all. We don't wanna waste anything. These are so good. They smell so good already. All right. There we go. And then we have one left, and you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna take these little pieces, we're just gonna pop some in the center holes here. We're gonna use all this goodness, okay? I'm telling you, these are gonna be the best cinnamon rolls you ever had. I'm telling you, you're never gonna go to the bakery and buy them again. You're just gonna make them at home all by yourself. What's in there? Oh yeah, we're gonna save this icing, all right? We have this icing we're gonna save right here for later. All right, next step. You're gonna get yourself some heavy whipping cream, all right? So what we're gonna do here, we're just gonna pour this right on top of our cinnamon rolls. Just right on top, a nice layer. And I don't know if I told you yet, but you make sure that you grease your pan. And you know what? I use butter, not that spray stuff. I like real butter, especially for this recipe. All right, so we just want to make sure, you want to make sure that the heavy whipping cream is about halfway up the biscuits, the cinnamon rolls. I call them biscuits. Sorry, that's what we say in the South. All right, so that's good. That looks like a good amount. So our next step here, I'm just going to move this over a little bit. I have a stick of melted butter, all right? So you want to make sure it's melted. And then I have about 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. We're just going to put this into our butter. And I also have some ground cinnamon. I know you think I'm crazy. These are already cinnamon rolls, but you know what? A little bit more cinnamon never hurt anybody, all right? And then my secret ingredient, I have this fancy salt here. We just want to take a little scoop of this and right in. I'm telling you, it makes it taste so much better. Now all we're going to do here, we're going to mix this up. We want to make sure we have this brown sugar and this butter mixture. Remember, a little bit of salt. We have a little bit of cinnamon in here too. Get all those chunks out. Oops, I'm splashing this everywhere. All right. So this is looking perfect. This is looking so good. So now, all we're going to do here, we're going to bring this back in. We're going to take our mixture. All right, we're going to take our nice thick mixture here, and we're just going to drizzle this all on the top, like so. All right, so remember, we have our cinnamon rolls. I just bought the cheap ones because they're going to taste so good. We have our cinnamon rolls, we have our heavy whipping cream, and then we have our brown sugar and butter mixture with a little bit of salt. I'm telling you, salt, you got to add the salt. You make sure you get all that goodness out. All right, so all we're going to do here, we're going to take a piece of foil, and we're going to wrap this up real tight, okay? We're going to wrap this all the way around. We're going to pop this in the oven at 350 for about 45 minutes, and you're going to have the best cinnamon rolls you've ever had in your life. Here we go. All right, I took this out of the oven a few minutes ago. So we're going to take the foil off and see what our amazing cinnamon rolls look like. Oh, look at that. All right, while it's still warm, we just got one more step. So remember, we have our little icing packet. We're just going to cut the tip off. I'm actually going to get the other one too. We're going to do them both at the same time. Squeeze this out. Oh, that looks so good. All this icing. I'm going to use it all. And it's still warm, so it's going to melt right away. All right, we're going to use the other one. All right. You know what? I am ready for a cinnamon roll. This is the best cinnamon roll hack. You're never going to have to buy them at a bakery again. You just buy those cheap ones at the store. Follow this recipe. Time to dig in. Ooh, I don't know which one I should take. Maybe one right in the middle. Oh, they're so soft. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Wow. That is so beautiful. I'm just going to put this on my plate. Remember, all we did, we took the cheap cinnamon roll from the can. We poured heavy whipping cream, some brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon and butter. Oh, they're so soft. I'm going to have a bite of this right now. Mmm. This is so good.
At Marshall's, our buyers hustle 20.
Stephanie, and this is Steph Stove, and today we are making salted. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am so happy you're here. Today we will do a regular stitch knit chunky yarn blanket. If you follow me from TikTok or any other platforms, please let me know, and I am so happy you're here. Let's get started. So you have the working yarn, and you will make your first slip knot. You pull the yarn inside and then out. I don't tighten it all the way yet. I will tighten it once I am knitting. So leave it like this, and I will go for 30 loops. I'm using 8 bundles of yarn for this blanket, and it's going to be 45 by 55 inches. So you just pull the chain, loop after loop. Don't do it too tight, it's about 2 fingers wide. And you go all the way to 30. Actually, I go to 28 because the last 2 ones I make a little bit smaller, because then it will make the corner look nicer. So the last 2 I will make a little bit smaller, as you can see here. This way you don't have a flimsy corner. And now we will start going the other way, so that last loop will go up. Make sure you have all your loops, and now we will go up, and we will go towards the left. And you can see the little loops right here. Those are the ones you're using. So you pull the working yarn through, and that's your first loop right there. And you will do this the whole way through, like this. Try to make the loops consistent in size. The blanket will look so much nicer when they're the same size. So when we come to the end, I will now use the final little loop, and now I will tighten my beginning chain right there. We will now go back again, but I am skipping that first loop for a nicer edge. You will not lose it. I'm just skipping it now, and then I will pick it up on the way back. So I'm starting with number 2.
You knew at 6. You ever wonder what your dogs would do if an intruder broke into your home? You weren't home. Would they guard it, or would they cape?
I protect the environment. That's how my children see my job. Safeguarding our waterway.
You knew at 6. You ever wonder what your dogs would do if an intruder broke into your home? You weren't home. Would they guard it, or would they cave in and be friendly to the intruder?
Well, we put 3 Oregon families and their guardians to the test, and they all had typical guardian breeds, but they also had some smaller dogs too. So just how well did the dogs do? Arlene Park shows us in this Point 6 special report.
3 families.
Oh my.
What? Surprised? Yeah, very surprised. 6 dogs. And 1 challenge. Will their guardians protect their homes? Yes or yes? That's my dad.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I foresee him not even probably letting him in the door.
So we set up our cameras inside their homes and asked professional protection dog trainer Omri Geva to suit up, pretending to be an intruder.
Good. Stay.
Rhonda Slavich of Aloha says Toby, her miniature Australian Shepherd, is more aggressive than Echo, her pit bull.
And I think Echo will look, go back to the couch and sit down, and I think Toby will be the one that will jump up and down and bark and bark and bark.
Was she right? After strapping our final camera on Omri, he set out to see for himself.
Hi, babies. Hi.
Not only did Echo and Toby hardly bark, they greeted Omri like their long-lost friend.
What? They're wagging their tail.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by this?
Yes.
Bye. Thank you.
With very little resistance, Omri was able to walk out, fake stealing several items.
Got some good stuff?
Didn't go so well. Disappointing?
Yeah.
If I was a real burglar, I think in plain clothes, I don't think they would have done anything.
So we sent Omri back to see if Toby and Echo would act differently if her grandson Trenton was inside.
Come on, kiddo.
But they greeted him happily and didn't even mind when Trenton and our intruder walked out the door together.
My possessions could be replaced, but if somebody took Trenton, he couldn't be replaced.
Now we go to Portland.
I'm looking to see almost like their facial expressions.
John Hickman and Lauren Precario are curious to see what Truffles, their pit bull, and Chiba, their Vizsla, would do.
Okay, here we go.
The second Omri walked in the door,
Hi, babies. Hi.
he easily led both dogs outside.
Let's go outside. Let's go outside, babies.
And was able to steal cell phones and a wallet.
This one's yours, and this one's yours.
But the second time around, when Lauren and her son were inside, Chiba didn't put up much of a fight, but did stay by Mom's side to protect her.
A little surprised, but you know.
So far, we're 0 for 2.
I think they're going to the dog door.
Will our last family be any different? Stay. The LeBruns from Gresham are especially curious to see what their dogs would do, having been victims of theft. Someone stole 2 of their expensive bikes.
Someone just stole it. Yeah. You guys ready to see what happens? Ready.
Some barks, then silence, as they smell the intruder. But then, non-stop barking once Omri starts walking around, especially by Dallas, their Malshi. Dallas jumps impressively from couch to couch to let Omri know he's not welcome.
And out the back door.
But unlike Riley, Dallas refused to go outside and tried to stop Omri as much as possible. Until, that is, he calls Dallas's bluff.
Disappointed? A little bit. Yeah, disappointed that we could have just lost everything in our home.
But before you write them off, take a look at how Dallas and Riley react when Denise was at home, when our fake intruder Omri walked in. You see Riley the boxer stepping up to the plate to protect her owner, even jumping on Omri to stop him.
A little different there. I told her to get him.
So the lesson is this.
If you want a dog that will really protect you, it's not about the breed.
It only took him a few minutes
We're going to build up her confidence.
to begin laying the foundation to build that confidence.
Wow, that is an eye-opener. Now, the fascinating thing about all of this is that, once again, the breed really doesn't matter.
Live TV doesn't come with a script for disaster, and sometimes the most unexpected horrors unfold right before our eyes. From sudden tragedy.
You picked up some delicious Domino's pizzas, like the viral pizza.
This is a perfect pizza.
And we want to see more. So we're bringing...
Tragedies to shocking events beamed straight into living rooms. These jaw-dropping moments are etched into history as some of the most horrific ever broadcast live. In 1984, a case out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, shocked the nation and raised questions that are still debated to this day. Questions about justice, vengeance, and the limits of human restraint. It all began when 11-year-old Jody Plosh, a bright and athletic young boy, was abducted by his 25-year-old karate instructor, Jeff Doucet. What seemed like a trusting mentorship turned into a nightmare when Doucet, abusing his position of power, kidnapped Jody and took him on a cross-country trip to a motel in California. During this time, Doucet not only kept Jody hidden from his panicked family and authorities, but he also allegedly sexually assaulted him, a revelation that would horrify any parent. When the FBI finally located them and brought Jody home safely, relief swept through the Plosh family. But for Jody's father, Gary, something darker was brewing beneath the surface. Gary wasn't just relieved, he was enraged. While most parents might place their faith in the justice system, Gary's faith had been shattered by the unthinkable trauma inflicted on his son. And so, as Doucet was being extradited back to Baton Rouge to face charges, Gary made a decision that would burn his name into history books and public memory forever. On March 16, 1984, Gary arrived at the Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport with a small caliber revolver hidden under his jacket. He positioned himself near a row of payphones, wearing a baseball cap and dark glasses, pretending to be just another guy making a call. What he was really doing was waiting for the man who had stolen his son's innocence. As Doucet walked through the airport, flanked by law enforcement officers, TV news cameras rolling, Gary turned around, raised his gun, and fired a single shot into the side of Doucet's head. The moment was so sudden, so precise, that it stunned the police officers right next to him and shocked viewers who would later see it play out on television. Doucet collapsed instantly, and although he was rushed to the hospital, he died the next day. Gary was immediately arrested on the scene, but public opinion was anything but unanimous. Many Americans viewed Gary's actions as understandable, even justifiable, a grieving, outraged father taking justice into his own hands. Others argued that no matter how emotionally charged the circumstances, vigilante violence couldn't be tolerated in a society built on rule of law. In a remarkable twist, the court seemed to lean toward mercy. Gary Ploche was charged with second-degree murder, but ended up pleading no contest to a reduced charge of manslaughter. The sentence? 7 years suspended, 5 years probation, and 300 hours of community service. He served not a single day in prison. While some critics were disturbed by what they saw as a lenient punishment, others saw it as a compassionate response to a man pushed to his psychological limits. The event lives on today in true crime documentaries, ethics classrooms, and viral video compilations as people continue to argue. Was Gary a hero, a criminal, or something in between? In later interviews, Gary expressed regret not for feeling anger, but for the action he took, acknowledging that violence, even in vengeance, comes with a heavy burden. Jody, now grown, has spoken openly about the ordeal and has said he forgave his father, understanding the torment that led him to that moment. It remains a chilling yet deeply human story of pain, of justice, of a father's love pushed to the edge. It was a clear, sunny Tuesday morning in New York City on September 11th, 2001, the kind of day that felt too normal to ever be remembered for anything. People were heading to work, grabbing coffee, checking voicemails on chunky flip phones, completely unaware that the world as they knew it was about to change forever. At 8:46 a.m., the first sign that something was very wrong came in the form of American Airlines Flight 11, which slammed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Smoke billowed from the building as news channels scrambled to cover what initially looked like a horrific accident. Anchors speculated about a small plane, pilot error, or some kind of navigation failure. Cameramen zoomed in on the gaping hole, firefighters were rushing in, and nobody quite knew what to make of it. Then, 17 minutes later, while the world was still trying to process what had just happened, the second plane showed up, and this one arrived on live television. At exactly 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 came into frame like something out of a nightmare. It flew low and fast, banking ever so slightly before plunging straight into the South Tower in a fiery explosion that left millions of people around the globe staring at their TVs in pure shock. This wasn't a replay, and it definitely wasn't a movie. It was real, it was live, and it was devastating. The moment the second plane hit, the narrative changed instantly. This wasn't some bizarre accident, it was an attack. A coordinated, deliberate, terrifying attack. News anchors went from confused to horrified in real time, their voices cracking as they tried to make sense of what they were witnessing. Many people watching at home didn't even realize what was happening until it was over. Some thought it was a special effect or a re-airing of the first crash. But no, this was different. This was history unfolding in the most terrifying and unfiltered way imaginable. Multiple camera angles caught the second strike. News helicopters hovering above Manhattan, amateur videographers on the ground, and even tourists who just happened to be pointing their camcorders at the towers. One particularly famous clip, captured by the French filmmaker brothers Jules and Gédéon Naudet, shows a group of firefighters preparing to respond to the first crash when the second plane suddenly roars overhead and slams into the South Tower. The firefighters' reactions are a mix of awe, disbelief, and raw fear and it mirrors what everyone else was feeling at that moment. That second impact made everything horrifyingly clear. America was under attack, and this was only the beginning of what would become one of the darkest days in modern history. The footage of the second plane strike quickly became one of the most replayed and analyzed video clips in the world. It's now a permanent part of history, archived, dissected, and remembered by anyone who lived through it. In many ways, that live broadcast forced the world to collectively witness the horror as it happened. It was the moment that tore away the illusion of safety and ushered in an era of fear, resilience, war, and global change. Watching the second plane hit the South Tower live wasn't just a shocking TV moment. It was a front row seat to a tragedy that would reshape the 21st century. The footage didn't just capture a building being hit. It captured the instant a nation realized everything had changed. On January 2nd, 2023, during a nationally televised Monday Night Football game between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, a horrifying moment unfolded that stunned millions of viewers and shook the entire sports world. Damar Hamlin, a 24-year-old safety for the Buffalo Bills, collapsed suddenly on the field after executing what initially appeared to be a routine tackle. In the first quarter of the game, Hamlin tackled Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins, rose to his feet briefly, and then abruptly fell backward onto the turf, unresponsive. What followed was one of the most distressing scenes ever broadcast during a live sporting event. Medical personnel rushed onto the field within seconds. It became clear this was no ordinary injury. Hamlin had suffered cardiac arrest. First responders administered CPR on the field for nearly 10 minutes, and an automated external defibrillator, AED, was used to restart his heart. Players from both teams formed a solemn circle around Hamlin, many of them kneeling in prayer or openly weeping, unable to hold back emotion as their teammate and opponent fought for his life right in front of them. The gravity of the situation was felt not only by those in the stadium, but by the millions watching at home. The ESPN broadcast, caught in a moment with no precedent, shifted into solemn silence and careful updates. Commentators, clearly shaken, did their best to communicate facts without adding to the panic. What had been a normal football game had instantly turned into a life-and-death emergency broadcast live across the world. The NFL made the decision to suspend and ultimately cancel the game, a rare move, especially in such a high-stakes late-season matchup. But at that moment, football no longer mattered. Hamlin was transported by ambulance to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, where he was listed in critical condition and placed on a ventilator. The diagnosis was later revealed to be commotio cordis, a rare and often deadly condition where a sudden blow to the chest during a critical window in the heart's rhythm causes it to stop. The odds of surviving such an event are slim, especially without immediate response. But thanks to the quick action of medical personnel, the presence of emergency equipment, and proper training, Damar Hamlin's life was saved. Over the next few days, updates on Hamlin's condition were closely followed across the country. Messages of support flooded in from fellow athletes, celebrities, fans, and even political leaders. His toy drive charity, originally created with a modest goal, raised millions of dollars almost overnight as people sought some way to show support. By January...
How do we pay for all this?
There's quite a bit of background noise going on right now, and this is only picking up my voice, which is pretty incredible. In this video, I'll be partnering with Time Kettle to take a look at the W4 translation earbuds. Time Kettle creates AI translation earbuds that let people communicate effortlessly in their own language. As the world's top translator earbud brand, Time Kettle empowers travelers, families, businesses, and educators to build stronger relationships without borders. The Time Kettle W4 features two breakthrough technologies, bone voice print conduction, which detects and focuses on your voice only, even in crowded conditions with loud.
I saw her up on the hill, on her way to the mill, proud and all out. Where are you now?
Around 9 in the evening, two sisters were getting ready for bed. Their mother had stepped out. Around 9 in the evening, two sisters were getting ready for bed. Their mother had stepped out for her usual evening walk with the dog, leaving the girls home alone. But then something happened that deeply unsettled them. According to the mother, their home and neighborhood had always felt quiet and safe, until that night. After reviewing footage from the nanny cam, she realized something truly frightening had taken place. One of the daughters claimed she saw someone climb in through a window, which terrified her. She insisted she had spotted a tall figure dressed in black, standing in her mother's study. Her older sister confirmed the sighting. The intruder's intentions remain unclear, as nothing was taken from the house. Most likely, the sister's loud screams scared him off, and he jumped back out the window before fleeing. Ashley LeMay is a mother of 3 children. To feel more secure, she decided to install a Ring surveillance camera in her daughter's bedroom. In December 2019, one of her daughters, Alyssa, suddenly heard a voice coming from inside the room. Believing at first that it was one of her sisters, she walked in. But almost immediately, she realized no one was there. The mysterious voice began speaking directly to Alyssa, repeating inappropriate phrases.
What? Hear you. I can't hear you.
Say it with me.
Startled, Alyssa stepped back into the hallway and shouted that she couldn't hear them, still convinced it might be a family member playing a trick on her. But when she got no reply and returned to the room, the same unsettling voice spoke again.
Come on, girl. Say it with me.
Who's that?
I'm your best friend. You can do whatever you want right now. You can mess up your room. You can break your TV. You can do whatever you want.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend. I'm Santa Claus. I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
This time, attempting to coax her into bad behavior. Terrified and unable to figure out where the voice was coming from, Alyssa called out for her parents. Later, her parents quickly shut off the camera and decided to remove the system entirely. The hack was later explained. The family had been using the same email and password as on another website that had previously suffered a major data breach. In this video, a concerned mother records her daughter, who had just told her that there was a guy in her room.
The guy is at the door.
The girl often spends time there, playing or even eating inside it. That's why the mother decided to upgrade the playhouse. Her daughter really wanted it to have a doorbell camera, just like the one on their front door. Only a few days later, something strange happened at night. On January 3rd, 2025, the child's playhouse camera began recording. It only activated
Hello friends, I'll be using a paper plate which is 6 1/8 in diameter. I traced it onto a cardboard and cut about 3 pieces of them. Then I will start to attach them together using this hot glue. Then after this, once this is already attached, I will use this paper towel. I will apply first Mod Podge onto there. So I applied about.
Friends, I'm so excited about this video because it is a good one. All these recipes are so good. We are doing another cake box video because you guys love this one every time we do this. And it's perfect timing because it is my job to take dessert to church tomorrow night. So we're going to make 3 different desserts, 3 different box cake. We've got a chocolate, we've got a white, and we've got a strawberry. 3 different desserts using box cake mix. And I want to preface this video by saying, because I get this comment in almost every single one of these videos, maybe the ingredients in a box.
What's up?
Are you alright, dude?
Yeah.
Would you mind $20 to serve my wife paperwork for a divorce because I caught her cheating last week? You want to do it?
Yes, sir. I don't like cheaters.
Yeah, neither do I. Okay, you want to just move your bike off to the side?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you have to do.
No worries. What in the This is like some GTA mission right here, dude. What? Oh, dude, this dude, I don't even know, like. I'll just park right there. That's the legit official paper server.
I really appreciate this.
Not a problem.
I just filed this yesterday.
Okay.
So I gotta get served today because I'm going out of town tomorrow.
No worries.
So, I'll fill this out for you. So this is the case number. This is where it's going to be served at my house.
Okay.
I live 2 blocks out of the way.
Okay. I just got approached by some random dude who's was cheating on him. This dude's a he's in that Porsche Carrera right there. So I get to go break it to this and it's all going to be on footage and all going to go on YouTube. I'll see if I can learn out how to blur her face out, but I can't do it.
This fabulous plan, trust me, I'll be fine. Some song that needs to happen can't be so steep. I will help you fly, change your state of mind, baby. When there's time for faith, won't you understand?
Do you need me to follow you? Do you need me to follow you right now? No worries. Am I going to see the whole use and serve thing? I don't know. Are we? If we can get these marks down. It's official. Oh, this is for you, man. You're being served favors. Thanks, dude. Sorry about that.
You got magic and this heart is my heart.
So crazy. Holy. She better hope the person she decided to cheat with doesn't mind her moving in, because she definitely won't be in that house for much longer. If we asked her what happened, she would likely play victim and say it's his fault she cheated because he worked too much and she felt neglected, as they typically say.
I've seen so many more women cheat. And being a woman myself, I get to be an insider to the things that women talk about. And yes, they will admit to one another that they.
On April 15th, 2025, officers were dispatched to a nursing facility after receiving reports of a baby left unattended in a vehicle, crying and in distress.
Oh, right here.
Do we have any idea where
I took her out. She was crying. She wasn't even seatbelted in, not in a base of the car seat or anything.
Okay, do we know where the driver is?
I have no idea.
Do they have to like sign in?
I'm one. Do you have anybody from work?
They might have been in the line.
They might have a baby.
That's me.
That's you? Just so you got back here. How long you been in here?
I just got my sister was just sitting out there.
Nobody's sitting in the car with the baby.
Let me call her. She's just
So you're saying your sister is supposed to get out in the vehicle? Where is she?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling her out now. But I'm not touching that shit.
No, I understand. What's your sister's name?
What kind of cheese?
That's right, yeah, I didn't know what time her orientation started, but she was supposed to start at 8:30.
Yeah.
So she possibly been here since 8:30.
She got me a little late, but I mean, yeah, she can hear her.
Is her sister in here, maybe?
No, she's not.
You guys have cameras on that?
No. I
see the bases on the ground.
And there was security behind it. And then there was nothing that can go through here for the base. Just throw them.
Well, what?
The baby was strapped in. But not even on base.
She's not anything. No. Not yet. You call her at
What was she doing here?
No, I was filling out my information.
Okay, she was just driving along with you?
Yeah. So can I bring her back to you?
No, you're just gonna hang out in here for now.
For what?
You can sit if you got her sit.
No, I'm okay, no.
I just need to figure out what's going on and why this baby was left in the vehicle when it's been late for who knows how long.
No, but I literally, y'all, if they got cameras, I literally just walked out.
9:05.
No, I said I literally just walked out with the metro and get my car. You can ask, I know I'm saying. No, I'm saying that I literally just walked from my car. Literally, after we did the little, fit test. I literally just.
Orientation.
I literally set up for orientation about 5 hours. No, I'm saying I literally just went to my car when I just did the fit test. After we got done with the fit test, she was in there. Hello.
So no, we just got here. We're in the beginning of it. We have a contact to a local caseworker gave us a call. I'm at a nursing home. Mother of the child came here at about 8:30 this morning for her CNA orientation and left her probably about 8-month-old baby in the car, claiming her sister was in the car with it. The employees here said the sister was never in the car with it. They went outside, happened to see the baby in the car. It was not secured in the car seats, and the base was not secured either. So they took the baby and brought it inside. So the baby's been outside unattended for, they said, at least an hour, if not up to 4 hours in the car. We don't feel comfortable with sending mom away with this baby.
You know that y'all can see the camera start closing on the door outside.
No, that's fine. I'm not giving them a timeline.
Yeah, we're not doing this. We're not going back and forth. You can just go back in there and I will talk to you if I need to. No, it's fine. I don't need this. Not at all. Hey, we're not doing this, okay?
You need to tell her that.
No, I'm telling you.
Sir, can you read her car keys? I can send her in her car key right here.
So you're gonna have to give me a few.
You're fine. I was in here filling out my what's the name? And what's the name supposed to get in the car with the baby? And she like, can you come up here? I just told you, Liberty Village of people.
If I had to guess, yeah, around 8 months or so, it would say maybe slightly younger. The employees took her out of the car and took her inside. Mom just happened to show up when we got here. So I mean, she doesn't appear in any distress. So the base was on the seat, but it was not secured with the seatbelt. The seatbelt was buckled behind it, but not anywhere securing the base. And, like the car seat was clipped into the base, but she was also not strapped into the car seat. So either the base was secured or she was just not secured in the car seat. And it had been left out in the car unattended for at least an hour, possibly 4 hours. She's claiming her sister was supposed to be in the car with the baby, but the employees said there was no sister member in the car. So she grabbed the baby from the employee and she's holding it. There's another officer in there and the employee there. We're not allowing her to leave with the baby right now. We don't feel comfortable until we talk to you guys and figure out what the plan is.
So how long have you been inside of this building unattended from your vehicle?
Unattended from my vehicle, 30 minutes. I got here at 9, but we just took a break after we did the spit testing. And I literally just went to my car. Luckily, I'm not cursing.
No, I get it. So you've been in your car since 9, and then you came in here.
No, I came in here at 9.
Okay.
And we take a little break. I sit on my orientation paper. And I literally just went to my car.
Okay.
Trying to get a hold of her.
She's not in. I just called my mom.
Where did she go?
I'm trying to figure out. No.
In her car, did she have weed?
Oh. No, I've had.
They mentioned the car smells like weed.
Yeah, I have smoke.
Sister had something there? Smoke
That's what I got. I told her I had to go put on my orientation.
Why are you saying the car smells like weed?
You must know yourself, sir. I don't smoke. You have to test me everything. I don't smoke.
So does she live with you or?
No.
No, where's she live at?
Oh, I don't know where she's staying, but I asked her if she goes around when I go to my application for my job. She's over here.
You said that's your sister, right?
Yeah. We just raised them together.
So yeah, she's gonna get arrested, and we're not fucking. Me and Taylor, McPhee are like, we're furious. We're not fucking sending this baby home with this lady. Okay, all right. I'll start medical, and we'll get her away to the hospital. And when they finally call me, I'll tell them the next day. But I'll get her stuff and I'll send it. We're start medical here for a 4-month-old baby. We're conscious breathing. Just need to be checked out. Growing up, car she's name. Day on March 11th, so his sister's never here. Now magically can't get rid of his sister. That's very bad. My siblings, but my 4-month-old baby in the car.
So has she been in this building since 9 o'clock?
She went out one time, and she said, and she was only out there for maybe a couple minutes. So I'm assuming she's not the baby.
Yeah, I was doing the orientation. She showed up about 5 or 10 after 9.
Okay.
She come in right after me, and I'm not sure what time it was, but she asked to be excused because she said she had to go home.
We just need to check out the baby. You don't know how long it's been in the car.
She needs to go to the hospital. She's been in the car for a few hours.
She has not. I told her I said check on her. My sister was in the car.
What time did you have to check on her? She was in the car.
I literally, when y'all just came, with other officers.
Sorry.
I said we literally just had a break, and I had literally just went out there.
As far as we know, it's been at least an hour. So we just need to check the baby out.
But nothing is wrong with her.
I'm gonna tell you now, we're taking protective custody of her for now. So we can figure out what's going on.
No, my mom is on her way.
I don't care if your mom's on the way.
Why
You're
are
an
you talking
adult.
to me like that?
Because you're not cooperating. I'm telling you how it's gonna go. Nope. I'm telling you how it's gonna go now. They're gonna evaluate the baby. The baby's being transported to the hospital for evaluation. The baby's been in the car for who knows how long. As far as we know, the baby's been in there since 9 a.m. this morning.
It has not. I'm telling you.
Okay, if my sibling was in the car and left the baby unattended, I'd be a whole lot more pissed off than you.
I am. I've been calling her. What else do you tell me to do?
But that doesn't, according to this, only endangering life or health or bandwidth's not on here.
Okay.
So look up endangering life and health and find if she's in charge of that.
Alright, yeah, I'll go put her on the felon.
So she's still gonna be
Right, and she's gonna get both charges.
Absolutely. You run it by command if you want, just to make sure you're good on that.
Yeah, I probably should. This is a really tough
And phrase it as, this is what I hope you don't have to do.
All right. You're going to be under arrest, okay? You're under arrest for endangering the health and life of a child, okay? I'm not.
If you have anything on you, it's gonna stick. Hot cocaine. No. Cash in there. You good? Yeah. What we're doing is taking you to jail. They'll fingerprint photograph you, and then you'll be released on an NTA.
What's going on with my baby?
So she's going to the ER right now. And it sounds like she's being held in protective custody because we don't know how long she was in the car. They're checking her over and make sure she's okay because the current senior thinks that she was a little warm. So we're taking her outside and.
But she was no, she has a and I'm not cussing at you, so. But she has a cold already from us being outside this damn weather study constantly changing. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the reason why she's. And once again, I'm not cussing at you. Yeah, I get that, but you know what I'm saying? Don't make that be. You know what I'm saying? Like she just so high. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. But and I understand that, but she was not in that car for no. How they trying to stay at 4 hours? And once again, I'm not cussing at you.
I get it. You're frustrated, and I understand.
When I leave here, would I be able to get her
With the baby?
Yeah.
I think the baby will be taken into protective custody by DCFS.
Why am my mom up there?
I can't answer those kind of questions because I've been here the entire time, so I don't know what's going on at that.
Right.
So if I could answer those questions, I would 100% do it for you, but I don't know the answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So who would I be able to talk to? Who do I talk to?
So there should be an investigator that's going to be out there and a DCFS worker that will be out there as well here soon. So they'll probably come give you information as soon as they're there. And she will go to jail. She'll be released with a notice to appear. So she'll need a ride back to the jail, back up to the hospital.
No, she could probably walk.
Yes, a little bit of walk.
I mean, she probably need to lose a little weight. Should have made me mad. Got me off work.
So, yeah. So by the time she's done, they will probably have already talked to you and explained stuff to you or figure out what's going on.
When officers attempted to call the number the woman had been dialing, which she claimed belonged to her sister, the call went straight to voicemail. The recording appeared to be that of a child, approximately 10 years old. The woman was charged with endangering the life of a child. The case remains open, with a court date scheduled for August.
Most of the horses that I get in for rehab are purchased at local auctions, but sometimes I have the opportunity to intercept them before they even get there. This little pony was at a local boarding barn and the owners were having trouble caring for her. This pony was 2 years old and hadn't been handled much. You can also see that her legs are not 100% straight. I work with a lot of neglected young horses that don't get the proper nutrition or
Man, this takes me back. All your Y2K favorites are back for only $3 or less. Only at Taco Bell.
Okay, so for today's tutorial, you're going to need a lighter, a pair of scissors, and a blanket loom. For yarn, I grabbed this from Joann's, rest in peace, but it's the Bernat Blanket Extra Thick Yarn. You're going to need probably about 3 of these for today's project. The first thing I like to do is know what size blanket I want. Today I'm going to be making a lap blanket, and these pegs are about 1 inch of spacing in between. So I like to count 22, 24 pegs, depending how big you want your lap blanket to be. It's totally optional, but I personally like putting hair ties on my blanket loom just so I don't have to keep count. Like this was 1, then I would like to put a little hair tie on 0. If you bring it all the way down, then you count to 22. This would be peg 23. I put another little hair tie. So when you have it laying down, you don't need to count. You're just doing rows back and forth. To start off your blanket, you're going to need to make a slip knot. So just roll over the yarn over a couple fingers, pull through, and then tighten it. Move that slip knot down to peg 1 to then start your row. I'm going to show you how to do the first row. It's basically just slip knots all the way down. You're going to roll it over your fingers, pull the yarn through, and then hook that yarn up on the peg. Make sure it's not too tight because then your blanket will start to roll up underneath itself. Just continue to make slip knots all the way down the chain.
The back door was open.
Vienna, 1673. Empress Margarita Teresa lies dying at 21 years old. Vienna, 1670.
Hello, everyone. Some recipes just make you smile, and this is one of them. These little flower cup cookies need just 3 ingredients and comes together in 10 minutes. Perfect for tea time and kids treat too. So if you want to learn how to make them, then just keep watching. Take a clean dry bowl, and starting with the first ingredient, we will take butter, of course.
Yow. Fever. Does that mean I have it?
You have a rash.
It's from my new bathing suit. I've had it a week.
Yeah. Does your neck hurt? It does. Get the trifecta.
It's nothing. I pulled it trying to do a 3.5 tuck.
Where are your parents?
We live in Chicago. I'm here with my coach.
A cruel mother abandoned her kids in such terrible conditions that...
My Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana, the new Eau de Parfum Intense.
Value of having a partner is huge. Finding someone you can trust is what really builds a business from the base.
A cruel mother abandoned her kids in such terrible conditions that the officers who found them were deeply disgusted.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? We're leaving a child in there like that.
The woman claimed to care about her kids, yet she hadn't even asked about them. Her poor parenting became even more evident when officers opened the door and found the children in extremely terrible conditions.
Something. When was the last time they ate?
Why are you yelling in front of them? What are we doing to them? We're not doing nothing to them. We're taking care of them. We're not doing nothing to your kid. We're not harming them. We're not harming your kids. It's okay. It's all right. You got a blanket? You cold? Huh? You cold? You get an HFD to check them out? Hey, we got flagged. We're gonna go use the restroom. 2 ladies flagged us down. Hey, there's a baby crying. This one, he's in the passenger seat. Is laying there. This one's in the back. When I went to go look for ID, she has ecstasy. But right now,
Kids didn't reach for their mother instead. They seemed comfortable with the officers. Their thin appearance hinted that the mother cared more about drugs than her children. The officers would soon find even more proof that she was unfit to be a parent.
I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to take nothing from you. But we don't have an option for the kids. They're going to have to go somewhere. You have a lot of work. You know that, right? You have shit like that. She wants all you doing. You have to call the DA first. Yes, call. Well, I'm not trying to take your kids. That's what I'm telling you. Call somebody. I can't. I don't have options. Ma'am, you see this? I don't have options. You don't have options.
You have to hear me out. I have to know.
no family, not a sister, a brother, a daddy, nobody. They all have.
I know, but I'm trying to get somebody. What phone numbers do you have in there?
I don't have anybody's number. These are Instagram people. These are followers I have. People have to be known.
We're gonna have to figure something out. I'm not trying to take them away from you.
This mother had multiple arrest warrants, was found with illegal substances, and had neglected her unfed children. She was certainly going to jail, but she had a chance to prevent CPS from taking her kids by calling someone to pick them up. Once again, she showed that her children's safety was not a priority.
I want you, do you know the phone numbers? Just for them to tell you what happened. You're going to jail and that your kids are CPS care. If they can contact somehow arrange their kids out of the system and put them in a care. Yes. It's unfortunate situation. Okay? Where do you used to stay here? What address? Where? Is it apartment, house?
Apartment.
Which one? Whose car is? Whose truck is
This
it?
is my truck. This is my name.
Okay. Okay. The reason I'm asking is, this is private property. I can only, if you leave truck like that, someone's gonna come and tell you the night. I want you to help me see somebody can come pick up your truck. Think of any friend that can come and pick up, but he needs that. He needs to have a valid ID, driver license. Okay. Texting, calling, what do you know?
Texting.
What? Say again? Okay, listen. If you don't have, you can call from my phone. Just give me a number. Okay? I don't need people here coming here quick. What's the
mother called someone to pick up her car, but didn't arrange for anyone to pick up her kids, suggesting the car was more important to her. The children were eventually placed in CPS custody, while she was taken to jail. Surprisingly, all charges related to this case were dropped, likely as part of a plea bargain. This highlights the need to spread awareness against child neglect, especially when some mothers show little concern for their children's well-being, as seen in her reaction to being arrested for endangering her kids.
Hold on, my car.
It's gonna stay here.
Yep.
And my car keys.
No, we're gonna get everything. I need you to go ahead and put your hands on it. Yep, there you go. Smart like that. Put your hands behind you.
And my cards. I need my cards to come with me.
Where's your? We'll get all
in
of
the
that. Front passenger seat. Front passenger seat. Yeah, goes right.
And my car keys come in my.
On September 6th, 2023, officers received a report of a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old locked in a hot car outside Walmart. When they arrived and checked on the children, their mother approached them, showing no remorse for her actions, and instead tried to fight the officers.
Are you gonna give me your license? Yes or no?
I need a lot.
Are you gonna give me your license? Yes or no?
After what?
No. I already told you. Are you gonna give me your license? Yes or no?
I need something.
You're going to make the decision whether or not these handcuffs on you right now. And it is as simple as a yes or a no. Yes, we continue the investigation. You can stay in here and we can talk. No, you're going into handcuffs right now. Other cruisers are coming here. We're going to place you in the back of those cruisers and we'll conduct our investigation that way. Yes or no? That's all I want to hear come out of your mouth right now. We don't need to do this in front of the kids.
The woman wore a brace on her right leg, which you'd think would make her cooperate with the cops, especially since she was clearly in the wrong. However, she did the opposite and ended up facing harsh consequences for her actions.
You're going to give me your ID. That's the next step. You are going to give me your ID.
What is the next one? Sir, no, please. No, I'm not, please. Please.
Okay, are you going to give me your ID?
All I'm asking is questions.
I'm going to ask you again. Are you going to give me your ID? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I'll give you the ID, but I just want to know what are the next steps. Like, I feel like you're not explaining to me what's going on.
The next step is you're going to give me your ID.
Can I step over here?
The next step is you're going to give me your ID.
Okay, I just want to step over here.
Give me your ID.
No, please. No.
Stop resisting. We're going to make this worse. Let go. Let go of the purse. Let go of the purse.
Let go of the purse. You're ready, don't you? No, let go of the purse. That's my finger you got. You let go of the purse right now. You're gonna get yourself a felony. Let go of your hand. Stop resisting. Let go of your hand. Let go. Do it. 31 Charlie, we're 10 4, 10 15. No, let go of the purse. We'll talk about it afterwards. Let go of the purse. Let go of the purse. All right, we'll just cut it. We'll just cut it. No, get her in the car. Watch your leg. Watch your leg.
Stand up. Can you just please?
We're gonna help you stand up.
Can you just please be patient with me?
We're trying to.
I'll give it to you.
Will you stand up?
I can't stand up.
Why not? She has a brace on her leg. So we're gonna go back towards me and up at the same time. Ready? 1, 2. Okay.
No, please.
Listen now.
They can't take my children.
Okay, I've tried working on it already.
No.
I've tried to. We're going to sit you in a car for now, and then we're going to talk to you about it.
They can't take my kids. They can't.
We're going to talk to you about it.
No. The ID is theirs.
I know. I've tried.
No. Please. The ID is right there.
I know, but we tried.
They can't take. No.
I tried.
No.
Check yourself. You understand?
All I was asking was questions.
I answered the question, but I not you. All right, I need you to walk now. We're going to help you walk. We're going to go this way. I will bring you to the cars.
Okay,
we will.
Okay, I cannot walk with you.
The woman allowed herself to be physically restrained in front of her children, whom she had earlier neglected in a hot car. After refusing to get into the police car, she was dragged away and arrested for child neglect, which meant her kids would be taken from her. Her reaction to this news, however, was shockingly unexpected.
Okay. And before we do, can you take this off for me? I don't want it to get broke, okay? And I'm gonna get back. So go ahead and face me, put your hands behind your back.
How about my car?
It's gonna stay here. Yep.
And my car?
No, we're gonna get everything. I need you to go ahead and put your hand behind. Yep, there you go. Right like that. Put your hands behind.
And my crutch, I need my crutch to come with me.
We'll get all of that.
Front passenger seat.
Front passenger seat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can my car keys come in my purse?
Yep, I'm going to grab all of that. Okay, so you're being charged with resisting without violence, and you're also being charged with aggravated child abuse 2 times. Okay? Any questions?
Why is it 2 times?
Once for each child. And right now, the children are going up to the hospital, and then from there, they're going into custody and stay until you get released, and they'll talk to you, and they'll make arrangements at that point. Once you're due to be released, they'll be making arrangements for either returning the custody to you, or they will continue custody with them. That'll be between you and DCF. Okay.
So they're going into the custody of the state?
Temporarily. Until a judge can make further final determinations on whether or not you should continue being in charge of them.
So what's going to happen to me now?
You're going to go to the jail.
How long?
Any pizza, any toppings, just $9.99 online. Domino's Best Deal Ever is back.
Since the dawn of time, man has been plagued by itch and irritation from not wiping clean. What man didn't realize is that wetter cleans better. See how Wet Dude wipes complete?
We may be down, but we are not out. We trained all year for this. Now go out there and give me 55%!
The woman cared about everything except her 2 young children, who were barely 7 years old. She was charged with 2 felony counts of child neglect and resisting arrest without violence. The next story involved a criminal father, Lucian Suprise, who was on the run from the police with a dark secret in his car. On July 7th, 2020, officers chased his car, which was suspected of being stolen. They saw him run over a school sign at high speed. Eventually, Lucian stopped the car and fled on foot, leading to a chase that would reveal something shocking.
button down. Never been. What's my son in the car? Wait, your son in the car? Yeah, 10-4. Can I get someone back to the car? You left it.
The driver put himself and his 4-week-old baby at risk during a high-speed chase. Shockingly, he abandoned the car, leaving his baby locked inside and unprotected. Officers had to act quickly to rescue the child before any distress set in.
I can't get in the car right now, but they have a record coming ASAP, hopefully. Because you bust his window out. I just don't want to shed glass if you don't have to. Yeah, I got you. You know, and the AC's on. If the AC wasn't on, absolutely. You know, if the AC wasn't on, I'd say we'll break it, but the fact that it's on, I don't want to break glass near the baby. So, I just get it. Something long and skinny. Oh, yes, right here. It's my work. I don't want to break this. Oh, I would, but I don't.
Alone in the car, the baby began crying heavily, making it even more urgent for officers to get him out. Just then, they managed to unlock the door and bring him to safety, showing him the care his father had failed to provide.
Oh, the bottle. Oh, yeah. Oh, I could watch some food. All right, this is Deputy Stubblefield, Michigan Sheriff's Office. We had an incident where we ended up taking a male to jail, and he has a newborn, I want to say probably about 4 weeks old, maybe, in the vehicle, and we have no way of getting in touch with any other kinfolk, and we need DCF to respond here to figure out what to do with the child.
The officers cared for the baby, who was later cleared by medics to go home with a family member. The parents were arrested with little to no force needed. However, in a separate case, officers had to hold other mothers at gunpoint due to their terrible actions toward a 4-month-old baby. On December 7th, 2022, officers received reports that a woman named Lucille was driving with a 4-month-old baby in the front seat without a car seat. When they arrived, they met Lucille, the baby, and Lucille's daughter, Nikki, who both ended up facing serious trouble with the officers.
So here's what we got going on. We were called here due to a concern from a staff member that observed this female right here with the 4-month-old, no car seat or anything like that. So obviously that's a concern. So we get here, and she acknowledged that no, she does not have a car seat, and that she was transporting the child in the front seat with a seatbelt on. Still not okay. Okay. So Children's Services were contacted, Mahoney County and Cuyahoga County.
Because Nikki's job kept her from picking up her aunt's 2 kids after school, she sent her mother, who was also caring for a 4-month-old baby. Although understandable, placing the baby in the front seat without a car seat was extremely dangerous, so Child Services were called to take custody of the children. Nikki, however, attempted to leave with the baby, and the situation quickly turned violent.
Sure, this kid is taken care of.
We're his only family. So what are you talking about? You're taking care of him. You're not going to take care of him like I take care of him. I'm his cousin.
How do you know I'm not? I have a 6-month-old at home. Trust me, I know this is reckless. This is reckless. Okay, you don't need to raise your voice. No, I'm not horrible.
I do need
so the thing, I do understand because I'm a father. I do understand.
That don't make you a good person. I'm 70 years old. I know.
You're 69.
Your wisdom.
Well, the newborn's going to be gone in custody of Mahoney County Children's Services. Ma'am, you are not going to be leaving with that child. Ma'am, you are not going to be leaving with that child. Go on the other side. You are not. No.
Well, not going in my car, and I did not give you permission.
You don't have to give me permission. You're obstructing. You're going to go to jail. You're going to get arrested for obstructing.
He's arrested in his car seat. Back up.
Oh, now you want to put him in a car seat?
Well, why don't you just wait till that Children's Services? He's always
47.
had a car seat, sir.
You're going to be placed under arrest.
Why are you arresting my mother?
Child endangerment. Child endangerment. You're under arrest for child endangerment. Let's go put your hands behind your back.
Dad, don't handcuff her. She is
Move
sick.
away. Move away.
You cannot
Move
do
away.
that. She is sick.
Move away.
Ma, but you're sick. I know.
Ma'am, you're on the verge of
Let me
arrest.
call Dr.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
No,
No. Move back.
for real, you're
Move back.
racist. Get your hands
No.
on me.
You're gonna go
I ain't
there.
touched you. Back the hell up. For real.
You don't even have this car seat in the right way.
Hey, you didn't give me a chance to strap your kids.
Stop. There's a child.
Hey,
Stop.
you don't holler at me.
Let go. There's a child right here. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to jail. Get back. Get back.
Not. I know you're not. You are a racist man. You got
Get away from me. You're not coming inside this school. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to jail. Go. You are not coming inside this school.
I'm not coming in school. Don't worry about it. Now why are you taking him in there?
For the safety of the child.
Where's that at?
I'm right.
For real.
I don't understand you and your parenting. Apparently you need to learn about it.
He accused the officer of bias for wanting to ensure the child's safety, insisting she knew how to parent and saw nothing wrong with a 4-month-old being in the front seat. However, her only real action was obstructing the officer, which quickly led to consequences for her behavior.
Police raid found your back. You're under arrest.
What is she doing?
You're under arrest. You're under arrest.
I'm not doing this.
Stop. You're under arrest.
What is wrong with you?
Stop.
What is wrong with you? What are you arresting me for?
Obstructing.
I am
Stop.
not.
Stop resisting. You're gonna go down to the ground.
From me.
You're gonna go down to the ground. Stop.
What is
Stop.
wrong with you?
Stop. Put your hands on your head.
Stop. You don't have to do that.
Stop.
What is wrong with
You're going to
you?
jail.
I'm about to.
You're going to jail for obstructing. Stop.
You are going to get
Stop.
sued.
Now you're getting charged with resisting.
You are going to get sued.
Now you're going to jail for resisting.
For real, this is crazy.
Stop.
I deal with kids every day. Crazy.
Stop.
Nikki's actions were especially troubling given her work counseling children. She was charged with resisting arrest and obstructing official business, while her mother faced child endangerment charges. The infant was handed over to child services, and the older children were placed in foster care. Officers in such cases often work hard to protect these children without receiving thanks. However, in a following case, officers were honored with special awards for heroically saving an 11-month-old girl from a life-threatening situation.
You're okay, sweetheart. You're okay. Good. On, boys. Good.
On August 5th, 2022, a woman's car was stolen with her 11-month-old baby girl still inside after she briefly left the vehicle. Officers quickly sent air and ground units to search for the car and missing baby, eventually locating an abandoned vehicle matching the description on the other side of town.
Vehicle almost closed. Straight up. Get the address right there.
I thought you had the great book. Well, you guys are both on that.
Hey, what's up? Do you have the seat here? From your
This one? This one or this one is it? Sure. I don't know.
Hey, darling. Baby girl. Hi.
Look where I've been. Oh, okay. This is our place.
Hey there, sweetheart, okay? You're okay. You're okay, sweetheart. You're okay. Good boys. Good spot. You're okay, sweetheart. You're okay.
You're okay, sweetheart. You're okay. You're okay, baby girl. Good spot, man. You're okay, darling. You're okay. You're doing great, sweetheart. You're doing great. You're doing so good.
Medics checked the baby girl and cleared her to go home to her mother. The officers, who were all fathers, went above and beyond to make sure she received proper care. 6 months later, they were honored with the life-saving award for their heroic actions. The next officers faced intense anger over the actions of a cruel mother, all starting with a troubling 911 call from a concerned passerby.
Present police and fire, Dr. Sabata.
Ma'am, I just want to tell you what I just witnessed, and I don't know if it's just me being overprotective or if I'm just crazy.
Okay, what's going on?
This lady left an infant child alone in a vehicle, and when I say infant, this baby's months old, alone inside a running vehicle, and she went inside the Dollar Tree.
A shopper's call alerted authorities to a Dollar Tree store in Brunswick, prompting officers to check a vehicle. What they found inside made the situation far more serious than they had anticipated.
Yeah, just go with the door open so it doesn't overheat. But this just left the kid here like it was nothing, guys. I'm gonna go find it.
It was already concerning that the baby was left alone in the car. But the situation was even worse because the doors were unlocked, leaving the baby vulnerable to anyone passing by. This was distressing for both the baby and the officers, who struggled to contain their emotions when they eventually found the mother.
Your baby in an unlocked car out here while you go on the Dollar Tree. What are you doing?
She was asleep, so I just ran into
You can't leave your child out, an infant in the car. One, it's 55 degrees out with the sun on it. All right. Two, that car's unlocked. Anybody could have came and taken that kid and left. All right. You see how dumb that was? All right. Do you have a license on you?
The month was charged with child endangerment, leading to a $330 fine and a court date. She seemed to be going through a tough time, so one of the officers offered her some valuable advice, hoping to prevent further risks to the child.
You're lucky it was an off-duty police officer that found him, all right, instead of somebody who just decided they want a kid, all right? You gotta keep an eye on her. It happens, and all of a sudden you come out and your kid's gone, then what do you do? There's no cameras here. We don't know where she went. You probably never see her again, understand? It's a dangerous thing, right? All right. Get your stuff home. Calm yourself down, okay? It was a mistake. Take care of it. It's over, all right? Just don't do it again, you understand? I don't want to be looking for your kid everywhere, looking for somebody who kidnaps your kid, understand? You clearly care about your child. I don't think you're a bad parent. I think you made a really stupid decision. Just don't make it again. Get it taken care of.
How do we pay for all this?
It's an Aldi thing.
Oh, yeah.
Your choice.
Depends on the merchandise.
I think my love of animals is genetic. Raised baby birds, rescued feral cats, always a horse lover.
Even though Susie Miles' love of animals eventually led her to run a feral cat rescue out of her home, she also hoped to bring a dog into the mix.
I said I'd love to get a Doberman again. I've had one. I would love to get another one, as long as it gets along with the cats.
A friend of Susie's found a Doberman at a local rescue that was facing a death sentence.
So I'm on the phone with the shelter. They told me the story that she must be adopted that Sunday. She's been kept past 3 termination dates. The people at the shelter liked her so much. I went and looked at her. We took her outside. She was much more comfortable out in their pen that they could run. Then I said the other requirement is that she's not hostile to cats. They took her into the cat room. Didn't pay a bit of attention to any of the cats. And I said, okay, I can take her home. I got her home. I couldn't get her out of the truck. No way. Shut down completely. Just terrified. Luckily, the man was walking his dog. I didn't know him. I said, will you come here, please? I think your dog will entice her out of the truck. It worked. I got her into the house. She wouldn't go past that laundry room. When there was any noise, creaking of the house, anything disturbing, she would just shake.
Baby girl is practically paralyzed by almost everything in her environment.
She's the most fearful of open cupboards, anything above her.
A fear of balloons causes her to bolt at the sight of them.
Trees, airplanes. She would look up and see an airplane and duck. The sounds of cats playing. Get it there. Sure that they are going to drop something on her. Every night at 9:30 are the Disneyland fireworks. She will go into her desk bed and she will not come out. In the beginning, she would not eat anything. Please. I realized that if she had a raised platform to eat, she would be more apt to eat, and then she could look to see what was coming behind her, because that's her norm, is to look. I have to stand beside her and touch her so that she quits looking. I cannot leave the corner of that kitchen until she's finished. That's what she normally does every time I walk away.
Susie can only convince baby girl to drink water in a few odd places.
My bathroom. This is one of the only places I've found that baby girl will drink. Otherwise, she will not get up at all and drink on her own. She will not walk through the house on her own.
I've had a couple of occasions to babysit baby girl. I'm like her aunt. On one occasion, Susie had taken a trip to Florida. About 5 days into her trip, baby girl sat in her bed, wouldn't move, wouldn't go potty, wouldn't eat or drink. I became really concerned, and so I called Susie on the phone.
And I thought about it for a second, and I said, okay, put the phone down to her ear. And I started giving her the normal command.
Baby girl, go potty.
Baby girl, get up. Go potty. And Linda had the lead on her and tugged on her, and up she came.
And so I took her leash and her lead and took her outside, and she went.
There were 2 giant potties, and Linda wondered, how could she hold that on? The reason that I reached out to Caesar was because I knew what my limitations were. I have hit a wall. I don't have the resources to go further, and she deserves it. I hope Caesar will be able.
Sit down, come here.
I am offended.
Sit down right there.
I am offended.
You are a queen, okay?
Whether you're a professional or just love getting hands-on with your home projects, Harbor Freight offers quality hand tools backed by a lifetime guarantee.
Sit down, come here.
I am offended.
Sit down right there.
I am offended.
You are a queen, okay?
What if the one person you should feel safe with was the one who scared you the most? For these kids, every day felt like a nightmare until the police stepped in. Let's find out more in When Cops Rescue Kids from her extremely terrifying mother. At Hero Cams, we don't just show what happened. We tell the stories no one talks about, the quiet moments that changed everything.
Great. So my daughter came.
On September 18th, 2023, a police officer received a report about a woman causing an accident. They immediately arrive at the scene to investigate.
You don't have a driver's license?
My mother was cut out of hip surgery, and she takes care of me and my daughter and the driver. I also did tell him I was
motorcycle.
Okay, this is up to date. 9 months, 11 months. Other than that, I do not have this vehicle. My mom just had her. Yes, it's over to her. And as soon as I get home, I will let her know I'm not to work.
You want me to go ahead and do a report on it? She doesn't have a driver's license. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Deleted. I have that camera footage. I unplugged it. I believe it. I don't know if you need this.
Yeah, you can track your registration and driver's license. Did it happen in the parking lot?
No, it happened. Hey, look back there in front of right where the water used to be.
So what happened? What happened?
Down street, probably right around where the old Montana was, and I was behind the right lane, and people were kind of going slow, and then I guess, I don't know if somebody else saw it, or you did, how did you guys find out? I didn't call the police.
Somebody called.
An hour later, reports said she left her child behind in the same van she had crashed near the school. She had already run away and could not be found at the scene.
Hello?
Police department!
Alright, so what you got? Hello?
Police department!
It's the margarita?
Pretty sure.
Alright, that's good. Alright. Where's the child? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is not in the waiting room, and we just weren't sure what we were allowed to do or not do, but the child is with Mr. Soto, our counselor. You want me to take you out down there?
Sure.
Let's go this way.
Do you have an ID, man?
Send me that.
I kind of think she's grandma to the child. So that's the van?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then this is Genevieve.
Hi. Hello. How you doing today? Hey, what's your mom's name? Margie. Do you know where she's at? No? Did she tell you where she was going? Has your mom been acting off today, or?
No, in the morning she was acting fine. She was acting like she went drunk and did that.
She was acting like she was drunk?
She had to take her medicines so she can not act bad like that.
Okay, what medicine does she take? Do you know? No? Does your mom usually drink alcohol?
No, she doesn't.
No?
Yeah.
You said if she doesn't take her medicine, she acts drunk? You live with...
So you live with your grandma? Uh-huh. What's your grandma's name?
Tyler?
Meanwhile, dispatch reported that a woman had been involved in a battery, prompting another team of officers to investigate the scene. This development would connect many dots.
Come here. Me and my daughter, Mr.
Yeah.
So what was your name again?
Movies.
Here.
I think when they reported the accident.
Okay.